My name is Alara Quinn. I'm 33 years old. And 3 weeks ago, I found out I didn't exist in my own family. From an Instagram story. Not a phone call. Not a conversation. Not even a mistake. An invitation. Ivory cardstock. Gold calligraphy. Soft fairy lights in the background. Perfect. Expensive. Carefully designed. It read, "You're invited to celebrate Ava Quinn's 30th birthday. September 14th. My birthday. Our birthday." But there was only one name on it. I didn't cry. That's the strange part. I just stared at my phone, reread it, zoomed in, checked the date again, like maybe I'd missed something. Maybe my name was tucked in the corner. Maybe it was a joint celebration and the caption got cut off. No. It was deliberate. Someone typed that invitation. Someone approved it. Someone printed it. Someone mailed it. And not once, did anyone think to add me. Let me explain something about September 14th. It has always belonged to both of us. I was born first. 3 years later, my sister Ava arrived on the exact same day. Same date, same family, same house, 2 daughters. But only one spotlight. When I was 10, I begged for a space-themed party. I had planets taped to my ceiling, glow-in-the-dark stars, books about galaxies stacked by my bed. I wanted Saturn rings and rocket ships. Ava wanted a princess party. My mother didn't even hesitate. "You can do space next year." Next year never came. I spent my birthday in a too-tight Cinderella dress, watching my little sister twirl like the main character in a story that was never written for me. At 16, I asked for something small. Just dinner. 2 friends. A quiet Italian place. Instead, my mother booked a backyard party for Ava. A bounce house, loud music, dozens of kids. I ate cold pizza in the kitchen. Alone. On my birthday. At 21, I tried to compromise. Brunch for me, dinner for her. Simple, right? My mother sighed like I'd asked her to choose between oxygen and breathing. "Why do you make things complicated, Alara?" So we did dinner. Ava's friends, Ava's playlist, Ava's restaurant. I left before the cake was cut. Here's the thing. I didn't fight, not once. I convinced myself that being quiet made me good. That patience would eventually be rewarded. That one day, someone would notice. They never did. Fast forward to now. I'm 33. I'm an accountant. I pay my own bills. I built my life without asking for anything. My sister? Different story. New car? Co-signed. Apartment? Helped. Credit card debt? Covered. And every Sunday, my mother calls me, not to ask about my life, to update me on hers. Ava got promoted. Ava's seeing someone new. Ava needs a little help this month. 12-minute calls, 11 minutes about Ava, 1 minute of, "Love you, honey." That's my share. So when I saw that invitation, something inside me didn't break. It clicked, like a lock finally sealing shut. Because this wasn't forgetting. Forgetting is accidental. This was a decision. I called my mom. She answered like nothing was wrong. Bright, cheerful, distracted. "Hi, honey. I saw the invitation." Silence. "Careful. It's Ava's 30th, she said. "It's also my 33rd. Then the sentence that changed everything. "We can only afford one party." One party. They could afford a luxury venue. They could afford decorations, catering, a full guest list. They just couldn't afford me. "Different," she said. 30 is special. I laughed. Was my 30th special? Because I spent it at her house eating leftovers while Ava opened gifts. She didn't answer that. She just got annoyed. "You're being dramatic, Alara." There it was. The word she uses every time I tell the truth out loud. I asked her one question. When have I ever made a scene? Silence. Because I never had. That was the problem. I had been silent for 33 years. She hung up. Just like that. No apology, no explanation. Just gone. The next morning my cousin texted me. "Did you get your invite yet?" I stared at the message. I wasn't invited. Then came the second hit. "Your mom told everyone you're busy with work, and that you don't like family events." I actually laughed. Not because it was funny, because it was brilliant. She didn't just erase me, she replaced me. She created a version of me that made everything easier. A quiet, independent daughter who chose not to come. A daughter who didn't need anything. And if I stayed silent, that version would become the truth. Forever. That's when something shifted. Not anger, not sadness. Clarity. I looked at my calendar. September 14th was circled. A little heart next to it. I'd drawn it months ago. Like I always do. Like every year would finally be different. It wouldn't be. Not with them. So I made a decision. For the first time in my life, I wasn't going to wait for an invitation. I was going to write my own. And the guest list? It was going to include one person who would make my sister call me at 2 a.m. Screaming. I didn't plan my birthday party out of revenge. At least, that's what I told myself. The truth? I didn't even know what I liked. That's what happens when you spend your whole life adjusting to someone else's spotlight. You forget what yours looks like. The Saturday after I saw that invitation, I sat at my kitchen table with a notebook. Blank page, pen in hand. And for the first time in 33 years, I asked myself a question no one in my family ever had. What do I want? It took me 20 minutes to write the first thing. Not because it was complicated. Because it was unfamiliar. I didn't want chandeliers. I didn't want a guest list full of people pretending. I didn't want perfection. I wanted something real. So I booked a small restaurant. Warm lights, wooden tables, quiet atmosphere. The kind of place where people actually talk to each other instead of performing. 2 weeks after September 14th. Not shared, not combined, mine. Then came the guest list. And this part hurt more than I expected. Because when I started writing names, I realized how few people truly knew me. Not the older sister. Not the low-maintenance one. Me. I wrote down the people who showed up without being asked. The ones who remembered things no one else noticed. The ones who never needed a spotlight to prove they cared. My best friend who once drove through a storm just to sit with me. A coworker who checked on me when I looked tired, not when I achieved something. A cousin who still sent me memes at midnight like I mattered. 11 names. I stared at the page. 4 empty spaces. It wasn't loneliness. It was clarity. Then something unexpected happened. A message. Instagram request. From someone I hadn't thought about in months. Hi Alara. You probably don't expect this, but I think we have something in common. Her name was Carly Webb, my sister's former best friend. Carly used to be everywhere. Family dinners. Photos. Then one day, she disappeared. According to my sister, Carly was toxic. Jealous. Obsessed. And just like that, everyone believed it. No questions asked. No second side. Just gone. Now she was messaging me. And the first thing she said was, I know what it feels like to be erased by Ava Quinn. That word again. Erased. I didn't reply right away, because deep down, I already knew something wasn't right. The second crack came the next day. Completely by accident, I ran into an old acquaintance at a coffee shop. We made small talk. Jobs, life, the usual. Then she asked, is Ava still working at Belwick and Partners? I smiled automatically. She just got promoted. Her face flickered. Just for a second. Confusion, then something else. Oh, that's great, she said carefully. She mentioned Ava's desk has been empty for a while. Empty. Maybe she's remote, I said quickly. Even I didn't believe it. Maybe, she shrugged. But I heard she was let go. Let go. I drove home in silence. Hands tight on the steering wheel. Heart steady. Not racing. Not panicking. Just steady. Because suddenly everything made sense. The promotion, the attention, the urgency of that party. It wasn't a celebration. It was a cover. And my mother? She didn't know. Or maybe she didn't want to know. That night, I finally replied to Carly. Let's meet. We chose a quiet cafe outside the city. Neutral ground, no shared history, no witnesses. Carly looked different. Tired, but lighter. Like someone who had been carrying something heavy alone for too long. "I know about the job," I said. She didn't even ask how. She just exhaled. She was fired 4 months ago. No drama, no exaggeration, just facts. "Client reports," Carly continued. She was inflating numbers, making campaigns look more successful than they were. I didn't interrupt, didn't defend, didn't argue. Because for the first time, I wasn't protecting the story. I was listening to the truth. "I called her when I found out," Carly said. "I wasn't attacking her. I was worried. And she cut me off within an hour." "Of course she did. Told your mom I was jealous. That I was spreading lies." Carly smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "Your mom blocked me the same day." I nodded slowly, because that part I recognized perfectly. In my family, truth isn't the priority. Comfort is. And Ava had built her entire identity on being the one worth celebrating. "So why are you telling me this?" I asked. Carly looked at me for a long moment. Not pity, not anger, just recognition. "Because you deserve to know that the person who erased you," she paused, "is also erasing herself." Silence settled between us. Heavy, honest. For the first time in my life, I saw the full picture. My sister wasn't just favored, she was fragile. And my mother? She wasn't just unfair, she was invested. Invested in a version of reality that couldn't survive the truth. I went home that night and looked at my guest list again. There were still empty spaces. I picked up my pen, wrote one name, Carly Webb. Not out of revenge, not to expose anything, but because for the first time, I was inviting someone who understood what it meant to be invisible. And something told me that choice was going to change everything. Because what I didn't know yet was that one moment at that table, one speech, one truth spoken out loud, was about to shake my entire family. September 28th. My birthday. Mine. No shared spotlight. No silent compromises. No shrinking to make someone else shine. Just mine. The restaurant was exactly how I imagined it. Soft lighting, candles flickering against brick walls, a long wooden table set for 15. No luxury banners, no neon signs. Just warmth, just presence. People started arriving one by one, and something felt different immediately. No one was checking who else had shown up. No one was performing. No one was trying to impress anyone. They were just happy to be there, for me. My best friend hugged me like she hadn't seen me in years. My coworkers brought laughter with them. My cousin walked in holding a cake box like it was something fragile and important. She placed it in front of me and opened it. White frosting, simple, clean, and written in soft blue letters, just Alara. I stared at it. Not because it was extravagant, because it wasn't. It was the first time in 33 years my name stood alone. Dinner started. Food passed around. Glasses filled, voices overlapping. And slowly, story by story, something I didn't expect began to happen. People started talking about me. Not achievements, not titles, not milestones. Moments. She once drove 3 hours in a snowstorm just to pick me up. She remembered my kid's birthday when no one else did. She covered my work when my dad was in the hospital and never told anyone. Small things, quiet things, invisible things. The kind of things my family never noticed, because they weren't loud enough. I sat there, listening to a version of myself I had never heard out loud before. Not the easy one, not the quiet one, not the low-maintenance one, but someone who mattered. Then Carly stood up. The room went still, not tense, not awkward, just attentive. She held her glass steady, looked around the table, then at me. "I haven't known Alara long," she began, "but I know what it feels like to be erased." The word landed softly, but it carried weight. I spent years being loyal to someone who removed me the moment I became inconvenient. She paused, took a breath, and when I tried to tell the truth, I was rewritten as the problem. No one spoke. No one interrupted, because everyone felt it. Then Carly looked at me again, and her voice changed. Not heavier, stronger. Alara doesn't need to pretend to be someone else to be valued. She doesn't need to perform to be loved. She doesn't need to erase people to protect her image. I felt it then, the shift. Not in the room, but somewhere far away, where someone else was watching. Carly raised her glass. To a woman who never needed a $12,000 party to prove she matters. Been enough. Even when no one said it out loud. 15 glasses lifted. Soft clinks. A quiet, powerful echo. And just like that, the truth existed. Out loud. Where it couldn't be ignored anymore. The night ended simply. Hugs. Laughter. Leftover cake. No drama. No confrontation. But the moment I got home, my phone lit up. Messages. Missed calls. Notifications stacking on top of each other. My cousin texted first. Your sister saw the video. Of course she did. A 30-second clip of Carly's toast had made its way online. Nothing explosive. Nothing direct. But enough. Enough to crack the image. She's freaking out. I didn't respond. I didn't need to. Because at 2:03 a.m., my phone rang. Her name on the screen. I stared at it for a moment, then answered. No greeting, no hesitation. How dare you? Her voice was sharp, unsteady. How dare you invite her? Do you know what she's been saying about me? I sat up slowly, kept my voice calm. She didn't say your name. Everyone knows it's about me. There it was. Not denial, not confusion, recognition. Then explain it, I said quietly. Silence. 5 seconds. 10. Then I asked the one question she couldn't outrun. Are you still working at Belwick? The air changed. Even through the phone, I felt it. That's none of your business. You're right, I said. Just like my birthday wasn't yours. Silence again. But this time, it wasn't defensive. It was fragile. Sienna, please don't. She stopped herself. Didn't even know what she was asking. Because I hadn't done anything. I didn't expose her. I didn't confront her publicly. I didn't ruin her party. I just stopped protecting her version of reality. I had a birthday party, I said. I invited people who wanted to be there. Quiet. Good night. And I hung up. The next morning, my mother called, crying. Your sister is devastated. I let that sit. Then asked the only question that mattered. What did I do? You invited that girl. I invited a guest. You're trying to hurt this family. I closed my eyes, then said it clearly. This family hurt me first. Silence. You told people I chose not to come. You stood in a room on my birthday and forgot I existed. Her breathing changed. Not dramatic, not defensive. Different. I didn't forget you, she said. Then why didn't you say my name? Nothing. No answer. Because there wasn't one. That conversation didn't fix anything, but it did something more important. It ended the illusion. The days after that, things started shifting. Quietly, uncomfortably. Questions spread through the family. Small ones, careful ones. About the party, about the job, about the story. And for the first time, the version of me that had been rewritten started correcting itself. Not because I fought, because I stopped pretending. Weeks later, my father came to see me, sat at my kitchen table, held his coffee like it was something heavy. I should have said something, he admitted. I didn't argue, didn't comfort him. I just let the truth exist between us. I see you now, he said. It wasn't enough, but it was real. And for the first time, real felt better than perfect. Months passed. My mother called less, but when she did, she asked about me. Not as an afterthought, as a person. My sister? Still silent, still distant. Maybe she'll come back, maybe she won't. Life, that doesn't define me. Because I stopped waiting. Stopped waiting for an invitation. Stopped waiting for acknowledgement. Stopped waiting for permission to exist. I built my own table. And the people who showed up, they chose to be there. No conditions, no performance, no rewriting. Just truth. Next year, September 14th is already marked on my calendar. One line, no shared name, my birthday. And this time, I won't be wondering if I matter. I already know. This story isn't about revenge. It's about this line. You don't need to be chosen to be worthy. Elara didn't win by destroying her sister. She won by choosing herself for the first time.